G'day ladies and gentlemen, you've probably heard about the hype of Capture One Pro 21. Is it worth the hype? Is it worth upgrading if you've already got Capture Pro 12, Capture One 20, or if you're considering to move over from Lightroom to Capture One? Is this finally the time to move over and bite the bullet? We're about to find out on today's vlog, so stick around. Alrighty guys, Capture One Pro 21. Is it worth all the hype that is going around? I'm about to explain to you all the features from small to the large ones on today's vlog, but make sure to stick around till the end because I've got a great freebie to give you guys for 100% free. I'm feeling like the festive season. I want to give away as much as I possibly can to you guys and help out as much as possible. Let's get right into Capture One and see what is the upgrades for Capture One Pro 21. So the first one that I want to talk about is the speed editing. So we have this image right here of Lake Bled. Now, what is speed editing? You've probably heard of something like a loop deck. It's a little basically device that plugs in and you can move knobs around and make sure editing workflow a lot easier. This is very similar. Speed editing now has assigned hotkeys on your keyboard, so I can hold down A and you can see down the bottom here it's got highlight. I can make these adjustments rather than going over to this panel. Now, is it worth it? Yes, because up the top here you can go through it and sometimes you have to change from left to right, the hues to the saturation. It is your basic overall sort of display of the image, but having those hotkeys makes it very, very quick. Now, not for a single image. We're talking about multiple images that we can go through and do. So I can hold down 1 and it's going to do Kelvin, 2 for tint, A is going to give me highlights, and these are all changeable, which is really, really cool. But when I was out photographing this sunrise at Lake Bled, I didn't photograph just one exposure. I went through all morning as the sun was rising and captured multiple exposures, underexposing, correctly exposing, overexposing to make sure I've got all that information in camera. Now, if you are a little bit new to Capture One Pro, let me just start by saying this. It is the most professional software that you can possibly get for photo editing. And for the price, it's absolutely ridiculous because you can pay a one-time fee or monthly fees. But rather than just saying that, I want to back it up and show you because I'm a Fujifilm user and you possibly could be too. Fujifilm hands down is bonkers for Capture One Pro. It is built for it. Same as Nikon, same as Sony, but let's get into it and show you exactly why. Using those hotkeys, I can go through and select multiple images. So let's just select, I'm holding Control now, or I can select one and hold Shift and go through and select the entire morning. Now let's use those hotkeys once again. Let's start off by using Q. This is going to adjust our exposure. It's going to make it a bit easier to see the results. Let's underexpose this by 2 stops. On the left hand side here, you can now see I've sped up my workflow so quickly by using these hotkeys, and I've now edited multiple images. If you're wondering why I'd want to do that, it's because I was talking about our exposure bracket before. So let's get our best image that we think is worth working on. Let's take this image right here. We can go through it and do a super quick edit for this, and what we can go through and start to understand is we're going to get the exposure properly for this image, and it's going to work out if the other images are worth blending together using the sky replacement or whatever. Before I'd have to go through and do this for every single image and make those minor adjustments, or copy that, paste it onto another one, paste it onto another one. A little bit frustrating, but now I can just concentrate on the main image and it's going to do a speed edit of everything I want to do. So what we can go through now and do is just warm it up a little bit, and let's just go to 0.5. I'm going to do a really quick edit for you guys just to show you the power of what we can go through and do here. So we can go through as much as we want in the sharpening, noise reduction. Now, if you are new to Capture One, once again, I did say before, the noise reduction, the sharpening, everything, dynamic range especially, is crazy in Capture One. We can get so much more information out of our RAW or raw images than we can anything else, which is absolutely cool. So I'm just going to upgrade the engine here to use the 2021. So we can go through and just use our presets if we did wanted, but we're going to make sort of our own preset here right now, just very quickly. I'm going to get onto this color editing a little bit later, just to show you a little bit, just in case you are interested in moving over to Capture One, how bloody powerful it is. But one big power, I know this is a little bit more of an advanced step, you can make layers. So what is a layer? I can quickly go through and use a gradient mask here. I'm going to show you exactly what that is later, because there's one very key feature about this that's going to help you out, especially if you're a beginner. Display gradient mask, and we can just go through now and make a few alterations if we wanted. So I want to go into Luma range. You're going to see a bit more of an advanced setting, but you're going to find out a little bit later exactly how I learnt this, because it's 100% free and you'd be very surprised, because that is why I love Capture One just as much. So we can go through here now and just adjust. You can see here, I'm going to go way extreme. We can just adjust this right here, okay? So that's pretty cool. Moving on to a few other features right now. Some will affect you, some won't. Number one is if you are a photographer that does anything outdoors, Dehaze. This is very similar to Lightroom. It's going to adjust your contrast and saturation in the image. Now I can go through and just now do the dehaze for the exact what I have done, this layer mask. But let's get rid of this layer mask and let's do the overall image. So you're going to see it's going to bump out that contrast, and also it's going to bump out some of that really rich detail that we're after in this beautiful fall colors. So we can just go through now and lower this a little bit more. And what we can go through now and do if we want to just add some clarity into this. Maybe it's getting a little bit too dark. I've gone a bit off with this edit. And okay. So pretty standard edit what we can go through and do now. Yes, I would go through and do a separate layer for the sky. But let's just take this for example right now. Just in case you are a little bit new to Capture One Pro, the reason it is the Pro, the professional version, is the color science inside of Capture One is absolutely crazy. And I want to show you how that is right now. We have this basic color editor which you'll see in Lightroom, which can affect just the reds, the oranges and everything, as you know. We can go into an advanced thing here though and just select, let's just take this orange here, and you can see now we are only affecting, so I'm just going to bump the saturation up, ridiculous, that little color. So we can go through and adjust it as much as we wanted. I can take just this part of the leg and you can see how small the details are that we can adjust. So I can just bump up little tiny areas. That is why Capture One is absolutely incredible. Now, if you are struggling to keep up with all this, that is what I want to get onto. For a very long time, I've used Capture One Pro 12. I never upgraded to Capture Pro 20 because I went from the XT1 to the XT3. Also, I like to skip that generation. Why did I upgrade to Capture Pro 21? I do a lot of clients one-to-one online, and that always gets the same results back. It's too hard to learn. Capture One Pro 21 is the time to upgrade if you are a beginner and won't switch over. They have gone from the professional based to the amateurs photography. It is catered for everyone now. And why do I say that? Because what I just went through and done, luma masking, it's all a little bit too much to handle from day one. Now we can go up to the top right here and just click learn. Straight out of our software, we can help get started, tutorials. There's more online, photo editing, 7 minutes, 3 minutes, file organization, 60 minutes long. Absolutely fantastic. And these are 100% free. Guys, 95% of what I learned from Capture One, no, 99% of what I learned from Capture One is 100% free. On their website and on their YouTube channel. They sit down, take you all through it. Their customer support, their tutorials, their webinars, their customer service base is so professional, and you're paying the same price. I'm not getting paid to say this, it is just absolutely fantastic. Plus, you are getting a more professional unit. Going on additionally, if you are just starting out and you're learning this process, now they have a feature where you go down and drop down and explains to you, draw linear gradient mask. It tells you, draw a linear mask with gradual opacity to separate an area or your photo into a new layer for targeting editing. Cool, I now know what that is. We can go into the heal brush, draw healing mask. we can now go and watch a tutorial on every single feature inside of that. Doesn't stop there, we can go through and create that luma range, just like I went through and done, and learn how to make a luma mask. It is that easy and it's 100% free. So if you are a Capture One user and looking to upgrade, say from Capture 120, there are a few little features that possibly could get you to upgrade, but if you are wanting to switch over from Lightroom, if you're a Fujifilm user wanting to switch over and you've always been on the fence, now's the time. Now is the best time to go over and learn. It is so easy with free tutorials all the time. You never have to pay for them, which is absolutely fantastic. A few other features that you can go through and do is you can make catalogs and sessions. Catalogs and session catalog is basically an organized, let's say, filing cabinet. You can stash everything very, very sort of neatly, and a session is when you go in and make sort of a session inside of the catalog. You can now have numerous sessions and numerous catalogs going at once, which is really, really cool, especially for me, because when I go away to like places like Iceland, Scotland, I come back, I am on the go catalog sessions all the time, which is really, really cool. And one other thing to look at, very small but an inclusion, is let's say we wanted to import an image right now. We can go through and choose, let's just take this singular image. This is how we would normally see an image when we import it. Super small and also quite low resolution. I can hold down Control or come at the top here. That is a high res image. Guys, that seems like absolutely nothing, but I cannot explain to you how good that is, especially when you've got hundreds and hundreds of images, just like we went through before with Lake Bled. If I was importing those images, I'd have to sort of get so close to the screen to understand why. And the same here, we can go through and these are all high definition. Small things, but it goes a long bloody way. A few other features are they have got some pro standard presets that you can go through and get for Nikon, for Canon. I'm a Fujifilm user, they have nothing for me, but don't worry guys, I'm not going to push you in that direction because there are an additional cost for some things. But if you stay to the end of this vlog, I'm going to show you how you can get all that plus so much more for 100% free. It's the holiday season in coronavirus. I'm not going to charge you for anything. A few other things is the high efficiency, the HEIC 8-bit. That's not going to affect me at all in my workflow. But for some people out there wanting to use like, Android or Mac devices, Apple devices, that will be something to look in for you also. So yeah, if you are interested in getting into Capture One and you are a beginner, I think now is the best time to go through and learn the software. So just a couple of things to go through and end this. If you are new to Capture One, it is the most professional photo editing software on the market to date. It is tailor-made for your camera. So if you own a Nikon, a Canon, it is going to import that and give you so much better result. It's not adding a profile like it is in Lightroom. It is tailor-making the dynamic range, the custom settings, everything for your camera. You can go through and edit. So if we just jump into this here, and let's say we want to go up to 200%, we can go through into our sharpening now and just put a little bit of threshold down, and you can see, you can see I've got no noise in there whatsoever because it has applied a preset for my X-T3 and the 16-55 to the noise reduction, to the sharpening and everything. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really cool feature, and it is going to be so much better than it is. Now, how can you test that out? How can you prove? Because this is just a YouTube video. In the link in the description below, I will leave a blog post that I have written about Capture 121 and my short experience with using this software, and also the last 3 or 4 years of using this software also. And there's a 30-day free trial that I can offer you guys. It doesn't obviously cost you anything. You can cancel it after 30 days and just import some images. Actually, in that as well, I'll leave some images of mine that you can go through and edit as well. If you haven't got some images on display, they will be Fujifilm files that you can go through and do. Now, I did mention before about a giveaway that I wanted to do some presets that I'm offering you guys. If you go through and purchase this Capture One on any paid platform, and that's another thing, if you do own a Nikon or a Fujifilm or whatever, you can go through on that platform and just buy it for your specific camera manufacturer. So for me, I can just go on and buy Capture One Pro 21 for Fujifilm. bang, it is that easy. And it costs you around 11 euros a month for that. It's going to be so much more cost effective in that situation. Plus on top of that, you're getting all the free software, free help, free videos, free YouTube. It is absolutely fantastic. And people like myself go on and do tutorials also. So yeah, if you do go through and get a paid platform for Capture One, make sure to email me your invoice to show me you've paid for it with one of my links, and I can send you all from the last 8 years. I can't believe I'm doing this. 1,750 Capture One presets, my professional presets that I use for paid clients for everything all around the world. I've tailor-made these over the last 5 years of traveling full-time for the last 7 to 10 years, working my way through northern lights, through stars, deserts, landscapes, weddings, everything you name it. I'll give you access to all that. It's about $97 if you go ahead and purchase Capture One, because that's basically my way of saying I trust this platform so much than I ever could, and I really want you guys, especially if you're a Fujifilm user, to go over and use this software. But if you do need some additional help, you are still on the fence about jumping over to Capture One, please make sure to just ask me in the comments below any queries you're having, or send me an email and I can get straight back to you. But guys, I know we don't know each other, but from the bottom of my heart, trust me, if you do make the investment into Capture One, it will be the best platform you've ever used for photo editing. Spend the time, invest your time into learning the software, and I guarantee it's going to make your photo images 100 times better than you can ever imagine. Guys, thank you for joining me today. Please make sure to drop below and subscribe for future content, and I will see you on part of the Capture One family, and welcome if you do join. Ciao.
Feeling